the business, and there's approximately 100 people trying to fight security from leaving the building.
I'm Will Bailey. Coming up, we'll have more with what happened in the Cotton District on Saturday night.
Whenever severe weather strikes, there's always a number of things to worry about. Hi, I'm Josh Rankin, and I'm going to tell you how the city of Starkville is becoming more prepared for what severe weather brings with it.
Justice finally served. I'm Dakota Williamson. Friends of murdered MSU students speak out for the first time after killer sentencing.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Take 30 News. I'm Anna Elizabeth Bies.
And I'm Jared Shields. Parts of Mississippi are still recovering from Saturday night's severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. The Associated Press reports Saturday's fatal storms damaged more than 250 homes and buildings across Mississippi. A tornado in Hamilton, Mississippi, as you can see here, damaged 130 houses, 14 apartments, 2 businesses, and 3 public buildings. Many were injured. 19 people were hospitalized. Roy Ratliff of Hamilton died after a tree fell on his mobile home. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency set up its command center there, and Governor Bryant visited the community Monday. One tornado that caused lots of concerns near Mississippi State's campus is the EF1 tornado that began its path near Starkville Country Club. Now, the tornado that tracked northeast moved to the east of Mississippi State University campus. You can see we've marked the bin 612 here. That'll be important later in our broadcast. The tornado moved for around 4.5 miles and caused some damage before dissipating. Some students say they were kicked out of a Starkville bar as tornadoes touched down across the state.
That's right, Jared. During the severe weather, bar goers in Starkville's Cotton District were told the businesses were closing. Some managers and employees helped guests to safety, but as Take 30's Will Bailey shows us, students say bouncers and bartenders at one location jeopardized their lives, causing a fight to break out. Police were called, and it was all caught on camera.
This was the scene Saturday night at the bar Bin 612. As the storm approached, customers were yelled at to pay their tabs and leave. In fear of the storm and for their safety, customers fought to stay inside the bar. The Starkville Police Department was called and had to forcefully remove customers that were unwilling to leave. Bria Hunter saw the altercation from across the street at Fountain Bar.
I don't know if people had said something like trying to rebel, like they tell them they need to leave or something, but just looked like a bunch of panic chaos.
In a Facebook post from restaurant owner Ty Thames, the Bin 612 claims that customers were asked to go to this parking garage right here across the street. But in the YouTube video, you can clearly hear customers being yelled at, told to go to their cars.
We're not letting people in. We're all leaving.
Okay, but where do we go for shelter if we're so far away?
Cars.
To our cars!
The restaurant caught a lot of social media backlash from this event, from people questioning the decision to throw customers out. In a Facebook post, Thames said the building was not a safe place for people to stay during the storm. The inside is surrounded by only exterior walls and large glass doors and windows. There is an underground area, but only about 15 people were able to use it. I reached out to Thames and the Eat Local chain of restaurants about the incident and their emergency plans, but I did not receive a reply. For Take 30 News, I'm Will Bailey.
We reached out to Starkville Mayor Lynn Spurl. She said the city is still investigating the incident, but believes this could be a wake-up call so the city can learn from this and better identify safe areas to protect from future storms. After this past weekend's weather and with more severe weather in the forecast, here's how to keep your family safe from storms. A tornado watch means weather conditions make it possible for a tornado to happen, and you should stay aware by listening to your local TV or radio stations for updates. But a tornado warning means there is a tornado occurring and you should seek shelter. If you find yourself in the path of a storm, you need to act fast and seek shelter. The best place to wait out a storm is underground, and your next best option is an interior room without windows. Remember that cars and mobile homes are very dangerous places to be during a tornado, and you should quickly find a safe, grounded shelter. Keep in mind, power may go out, so battery-powered radios and flashlights should be on hand. As we showed you earlier, Saturday night's tornado was too close for comfort for many MSU students. So what are the university leaders doing to keep students safe during severe weather? Take 30's Jarius Carter shows us.
MSU's campus is one of the most beautiful and safest universities in the South, according to College Factual, but it is not prone to weather. What would happen if the sunshine goes down and the rain comes, and then the rain to a tornado?
Big old tornado.
In light of the recent tornado that just happened this past Saturday, if the tornado would have hit, would MSU have been ready? Corey Botts, event manager at the Union, said that the Union has a standard protocol that has been updated to take on severe weather.
If a storm does occur, we ask that students move to one of our shelters throughout the building. When those storms come in, we generally meet as a staff beforehand if we know that the weather's going to be coming and kind of form a game plan for the day.
Those locations include the tunnel that is below the Union and the first floor AV meet room.
All structures such as Rice Hall, which is historically the oldest building on campus, what would students do if a storm came while they're in the residence hall on the 8th floor?
My RA came to the dorms, knocked on each person's dorm, and told us to head to the basement.
You just need to go to like the bottom floor, as long no windows, get down, be safe.
It seems like the trend for MSU is to get to the lowest possible area, and it seems that most dorms have basements, and if they don't, you have to get away from windows. While weather will never ever be predictable, the way to be safe is. I'm Jarius Carter with Take 30 News.
Starkville city leaders are rethinking severe weather safety, Jared.
That's right. According to the DECpage.com, floodwaters can make a wall of water from 10 to 15 feet high, and that a few inches of rain can cause thousands of dollars in flood damage. Starkville experienced some of those conditions last week, which has sparked the city into creating more preemptive measures for future storms. Take 30's Josh Rankin has more on what the city of Starkville plans to do in order to keep its citizens safer.
Factors come with severe weather, and floodwaters are one of them. Over the weekend, Starkville experienced broken trees, damaged homes, and floodwaters that affected a number of areas. Sections of Starkville, like Jackson Street and the roads near Overstreet Elementary, experienced heavy amounts of water, leaving some roads undrivable. But the city may soon have an ordinance in place that could reduce the danger that floods bring.
This is an ordinance that deals with stormwater, and so the primary intent is to protect citizens of Starkville, property owners, as well as their property from flooding caused by development. But as development occurs and you have buildings and apartments, they create surfaces that cause what we call runoff. It means the water is just running right off the site, and it's going to find the path of least resistance, which it may be flooding a road or it may be flooding somebody's house. And so the intent of the ordinance is to put in rules and regulations to prevent that.
The current stormwater ordinance has been in place since 2010, but the changing of the ordinance does not come from any failures that happened in the past, but rather to be better insured for the future.
The new ordinance is designed to do exactly the same thing. The goal of the ordinance is not changing. What we hope to change is to increase the threshold of the requirements to better protect the citizens. So I think that this is really going to help. I think this is protecting people 5 years from now, 10 years from now, from flooding that would definitely happen if we were to maintain the ordinance we have.
Burnett says that the ordinance will not include MSU as well as other areas in the outer Oktibbeha County, but still has hope that this ordinance will help better protect the citizens of Starkville. In Starkville, this is Josh Rankin with Take 30 News.
Burnett says that the ordinance is still in a developmental stage, but hopes to have a final product by this May. It's been a little over a month now since a deadly tornado touched down in Columbus, leaving a path of destruction. While it's clear there's still a lot of work to do there, people in Columbus say they're making great strides, and overall, they're happy with the progress the city has made.
I can say they have done a great job, in the community and with all the volunteers and help. They had done a wonderful job. They came out, they gave water, they had food supply for the people. Like I said, we were just without lights for 6 days, but we were blessed.
Up next on Take 30 News, it was a shocking murder in Starkville's Cotton District in 2016. Now the man who did it was sentenced. We have reaction from the victim's friends and family.
Our world is changing. The way we work, the way we connect, the way we see things around us. At Mississippi State University, We're agents of change, creating our own bright futures, solving real problems, turning challenges into possibilities, and lighting the way to a whole new world of emerging markets. Through MSU's new state-of-the-art Center for Entrepreneurship and Outreach, we're collaborating across campus, sharing perspectives and resources of multiple disciplines to power dreams. But we're so much more than dreamers. We've launched hundreds of student-led businesses, earning millions in revenue, and impacting our state's economy in new and creative ways. We're the next generation of business leaders, and we're ready for a changing world. How do we know we're ready? Because we're the ones changing it.
Cash Matlock from the Wednesday crew in the fall of 2018.
Learning, growing, becoming. Take 30 News at MSU. One family is finally getting justice after a Columbus man pleaded guilty to the shooting death of a Mississippi State student in 2016. Take 30's Dakota Williamson has the story.
On April 9th, District Attorney Scott Collum announced that 22-year-old Jalen Barker of Columbus pleaded guilty in front of the Lowndes County Circuit Court to the first-degree murder of Joseph Tillman on November 6, 2016. He was sentenced to life in prison. Tillman was 21 and was a senior marketing major from Schlater, Mississippi. Friends of Tillman expressed their feelings towards the sentencing.
There's a side of me that wanted to see another side of justice. There's part of me that is like, good, he deserves to rot. But then I realized that, you know, despite this horrible tragedy, maybe one day that he can realize this grave mistake he's made and learn from his mistakes and come to either know the Lord or somehow find a way to forgive himself for this awful deed that he's done.
Assistant District Attorney Scott Regilio said Barker and his friends planned the robbery and asked Tillman to give him change for $100. That's when one of the men snatched his wallet and ran away. Tillman chased after the man for a few yards but returned to Barker, who shot and killed him. Two other suspects have pending cases. Cyborus Pippins is awaiting a capital murder charge, and Brandon Sherrod is awaiting an accessory after the fact charge. After the original incident, friends and family flooded a memorial with notes and some of their favorite memories of Tillman. I'm standing here at the site of the shooting. While the original memorial is gone, Joseph Tillman's friends still hold him in their memory as a great student, man, and brother.
Just the greatest thing about him is his smile and the way he makes people laugh. He's so easy to talk to, and I could just feel that energy from him, and it was just so refreshing. He's just such a smart person. He was such a smart person and funny, you know, just happy. He was just so happy in life.
For Take 30 News, I'm Dakota Williamson.
Barker faced the death penalty in a trial scheduled for May. However, the case was moved to Union County's at Barker's request to pursue a life sentence instead. Barker will spend the next 43 years behind bars and will be eligible for release when he is 65.
People around the world are still saddened by Monday's massive fire in Paris Notre Dame Cathedral. The AP reports that the spire on top of the cathedral collapsed, and the fire also managed to spread to one of the rectangular towers. And Paris Fire Chief Jean-Claude Gallet stated that 2/3 of the roof have been ravaged. Firefighters managed to save the structure of the cathedral by stopping the fire from spreading. The over 850-year-old cathedral has been undergoing renovations at the time of the fire, and while the cause of the fire has not been identified, it could potentially be linked to the renovation. With Easter Sunday approaching, the fire happened during Holy Week commemorations. And according to AP, Parisians assembled across the river from Notre Dame to pray and sing hymns. French President Emmanuel Macron rushed to the scene of the fire, regarding it as a national emergency. President Macron also said that he wanted the landmark cathedral to be rebuilt within the next 5 years. We still have lots of news, including our Campus Connect forecast, after the break.
Take 30 News is the only student-powered television news program at Mississippi State.
We've got the latest weather report.
We go far and wide to tell you the stories you need to hear from your campus. From parking.
Parking spots are becoming more and more scarce.
To sports.
Also, the opening of the new Polk DeMint Stadium.
To how to stay healthy.
It is supposed to lessen your symptoms.
Take 30 News is the news you need, wrapped in maroon and white.
I'm Cash Matlock from the Wednesday Crew in the fall of 2018.
Learning, growing, becoming. Take 30 News at MSU. We've had a few calm days since the severe weather Saturday, but thunderstorms and the chance of severe weather returns Thursday. Now let's take a look at our Campus Connect forecast. Except for thunderstorms on Thursday, the week ahead looks fairly clear. The low tonight should be around 62 degrees. Tomorrow the high should reach into the mid-70s, and during the night the low temperature will drop into the 40s. Currently it is partly cloudy outside and 72 degrees with a 69% humidity in Starkville, Mississippi. Remember, you can stay up to date on our Campus Connect forecast anytime by visiting weather.msstate.edu. Stick around, we'll be right back with Take 30 Sports, and when we come back and later we look at a change coming to Mississippi's teachers' pay.
The sense of place. We all have it, often grown from deep roots in small-town communities. At Mississippi State University, our Carl Small Town Center is strengthening these ties. With nearly 40 years of making a difference, we're revitalizing communities into welcoming places to work, live, and congregate. By weaving together the best pieces of our past with modern technology and amenities, we're creating the hometowns of the future. Places where lifetime memories can be made, where you have all the things you need, along with all the things you want. Through partnerships with our communities, we're identifying improvement opportunities, recommending paths forward, and creating the plans for a better tomorrow. If you want to have a big impact in the world, you have to start small. At Mississippi State University, we're starting in the Gulf of Mexico, where a small but crucial barrier island is quickly fading from view. Millions of state dollars are spent dredging sand to replace the vanishing shores of Deer Island, but we think we can do better. We're applying cutting-edge sediment tracers to map the flow of currents and predict the course of sand that's carried out to sea, a process that will help us better understand the drastic transformation taking place. While this is a more cost-effective way to prevent the loss of an island, it's about so much more than saving dollars. It's about taking the first step in a long process to preserve our environment and secure a better, brighter tomorrow. We might be starting small, but rest assured, at Mississippi State University, we're dreaming big.
Welcome to Take 30 Sports. I'm Chris Carr. Despite the sour weather this past weekend, a few Bulldogs came out on top. MSU track and field competed in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, setting 11 new personal bests during the Crimson Tide Invitational. The Bulldogs' next SEC meet is against LSU in Baton Rouge, April 20th. James Armstrong, Mississippi State's new soccer head coach, came out on top this past weekend. The Bulldogs defeated Southern Miss 4-3 in the spring exhibition match that was held during Super Bulldog weekend. The Bulldogs will close their spring schedule Thursday, April 18th with a final exhibition match against Mississippi College at 5 p.m. The wins just keep coming in for the men's Bulldogs. Men's tennis defeated the LSU Tigers yesterday, ending their regular season. The Bulldogs are now 19-3 overall and 11-1 in the SEC, finishing second in the SEC for the second year in a row. With the Dogs finishing second, they've earned a double bye in the 2019 SEC Championship that will be held in Gainesville, Florida on April 17th through 21st. The Bulldogs will take on either 7th-seeded Kentucky or 10th-seeded Vanderbilt in the quarterfinals Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. Big move for the Maroon team. The Maroon and White scrimmage was a hit. Literally, the Maroon team defeated the White team 50-10. I'm sure there were a lot of bragging rights right there. After the scrimmage, 2 guys were announced as the 2019 captains for the football team, both Earl Thompson and Darrell Williams. Be on the lookout for the Dogs, as I'm sure they're anxious to get back on the field this season. The MSU baseball team swept Alabama this past weekend. Team pitching started off hot as Ethan Small recorded a career-high 15 strikeouts through 6 innings of play. The Diamond Dogs will hit the road early this weekend as they play in Fayetteville against the Arkansas Razorbacks starting on Thursday. That's it for Take 30 Sports. We'll be right back with more Take 30 news right after the break.
It's hard to fathom. By the year 2050, Earth will be home to 3 billion more people than today. And with rising populations and dwindling resources, one of the most pressing questions is a stark one. How will we feed everyone? At Mississippi State University, we're preparing a meal table where there's a seat for all of us. As one of the nation's leading research universities, our scientists are deploying technology to enhance crop production, developing vaccines to protect aquaculture, working to boost water resources here at home and in communities around the globe. And by partnering with the League of International Universities and the United Nations, we're guaranteeing that global food security is a priority for years to come. As our world grows, so do the challenges. But when it comes to how we will feed everyone, rest assured, Mississippi State has all options on the table.
Take 30 News is the only student-powered television news program at Mississippi State.
We've got the latest weather report.
We go far and wide to tell you the stories you need to hear from your campus. From parking.
Parking spots are becoming more and more scarce.
To sports.
Also, the opening of the new Polk DeMint Stadium.
To how to stay healthy.
It is supposed to lessen your symptoms.
Take 30 News is the news you need, wrapped in maroon and white.
Some Mississippi educators can expect a salary change in the near future. According to AP, Governor Phil Bryant signed a bill Tuesday that gives Mississippi teachers a $1,500 pay raise after July 1st this year. This raises the minimum salary for teachers from $12,500 to $1,400. According to the Mississippi Department of Education, Mississippi teachers earn an average of around $45,000 annually, compared to the Southeastern average of $51,000. According to AP, Mississippi Association of Educators President Joyce Helmick said she heard from educators that were angry that the pay increase was only $1,500. Tiger Woods won his 5th green jacket at the Masters Sunday after finishing 13 under par, and now it looks like he will be receiving further recognition. According to AP, President Donald Trump has announced that Woods will be presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The president tweeted Monday saying he got to speak with Woods and congratulate him. The president went on to say that because of Woods' incredible success and comeback in sports, that President Trump would be presenting Woods with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But President Trump did not specify when the ceremony would be held. The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the United States' highest honor presented to civilians. President Trump has previously presented 7 of the medals during his presidency.
Just a few hours from now, Duck Dynasty star and motivational speaker Sadie Robertson will be speaking at the MSU Amphitheater along with the band We the Kingdom. MSU Young Life is presenting a night of worship. The event is free and from 7 to 9 p.m. The City of Starkville, the Orchard Starkville, and numerous fraternities are sponsoring the event. The Mississippi State University Fashion Board presents Candyland tonight at 7 p.m. The event is hosted at Commodore Bob's Yacht Club on 102 Rue du Grande Fromage in Starkville. Candy Lynn will be MSU Fashion Board's last show of the semester. The board will also be releasing Volume 5 of their student-run and student-led magazine, Etchery. A reminder that this Friday there will be no classes and MSU will be closed. The university will be open Monday, April 22nd, operating on normal business hours. MSU is holding 3 commencement ceremonies at Humphrey Coliseum at 3:30 on Thursday, May the 2nd, 9:30 a.m. on Friday, May 3rd, and again on Friday at 3:30 p.m. Doors open at 8 a.m. and the morning ceremony and 2 p.m. for the afternoon ceremonies, with processionals beginning at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. respectively. Graduates and their guests are encouraged to arrive early to ensure smooth entry through the Coliseum's metal detectors. The Thursday afternoon ceremony will feature degree candidates from colleges of education and business. The Friday morning ceremony will feature degree candidates from the colleges of arts and sciences, architecture, art and design, and veterinary medicine. For more information on the commencement ceremonies, you can visit msstate.edu. But for now, that is all we have for today. This we've enjoyed. This is actually our last Wednesday Crew show. So thank you so much for tuning in the rest this semester so far. Catch our shows on the YouTube channel. Good night, everyone.
Good night.